I want to highlight the importance of what I call smart defense.
Since the Munich Security Conference in February this year in Germany, NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen has been calling for smart defense.
Smart defense is key to NATO's future, and it will be one of the key issues at our summit in Chicago next year.
But what is smart defense?
Smart defense is working together to make better use of the resources which are available to us.
Together with Deputy Secretary General Bisogniero, the Supreme Allied Commander Transformation, General Abrial, will be working with NATO member states on possible smart defense projects. He recognizes the need to increase multinational cooperation. For him, it's imperative to maintain the necessary capabilities at a time when defense budgets are falling.
As we can see around us, we have all kinds of possible crises. We have shrinking resource budgets in our nations, and in parallel we have rising costs for our capabilities. Therefore, it's necessary that we all work together so that despite this reducing national budget, the alliance as a whole keeps the capability necessary to meet our level of ambition.
Since large national debts can make countries less stable and less secure, bringing down debt burdens is not only an economic priority, but also a security priority. That's why General Abrial emphasizes that smart defense is not just a fancy way of saying NATO needs to cut back on its spending.
No, we do not need to cut back. We are faced to cuts. And since we have to address these cuts, then we find the right solution, again, to make sure that we keep the right capabilities.
One of my concerns is that European allies risk falling behind the pace of technological change because of their low level of defense spending. But when defense budgets are tight, it's not easy. If we acknowledge that there is no more money available right now, then we need to change the way we spend our money.
The smart defense approach to defense spending could be a way of ensuring greater security for less money. But to make it work, nations should not only set the right priorities and coordinate their efforts better, but should also agree to share their resources. Something that sovereign nations might not be too keen on, even though they are part of the NATO alliance.
Well, when you have to do something and you assess that you cannot do it alone, the solution is let's do it together. But when you do it together, of course, you have to know which part of your sovereignty you agree to share with others. And then, seen from the alliance, we have to have this right balance between making sure that the capabilities developed together are always available to the alliance, and making sure also that those who participate can use them for their own use, their own needs, when they're so needed.
NATO Secretary General Rasmussen stresses that smart defense is not about NATO imposing anything on nations. The alliance should rather enable the nations to work more effectively together and identify new possible areas of cooperation.
NATO can help nations to build greater security with fewer resources, but more coordination, more coherence, so that together we can avoid the financial crisis from becoming a security crisis.
And already there are some initiatives within NATO that could be seen as a smart defense approach, like the Strategic Airlift Consortium, for which a group of nations have acquired C-17 transport aircrafts to transport troops, equipment and supplies across the globe. Or the Baltic Air Policing, for which NATO nations rotate their crews and aircrafts in order to guard the airspace over the 3 Baltic states.
It's a little bit too early to give examples because we are starting the process, but we are working on issues like joint intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, medical support, force protection, maintenance, logistics, training. We have lots of issues on the table. As you know, we have more than 150 IDs which have been staffed already, and we're going to be more precise in a few weeks, I would say.
Missile defense is a case in point. By pooling their contributions and by sharing the costs, allies will be able to protect their own territory and citizens against missile attacks.
In the coming months, NATO is going to identify and discuss new possible smart defense projects with all individual member states.
With going to talk with every single nation inside NATO and see what are the projects which are most interesting to the nations and most useful to the alliance. The objective being now to transform the intentions which have been declared so far into decisions.
The financial crisis should not become a security crisis. In the coming years, it looks like this is what smart defense will be about.